you been, bud?
I've been great. Thank you for stopping by.
Sure, sure. Everything's cool.
You know, being a comedian, I was a little bit offbeat. I always wondered what kind of kid you were.
Yeah, kid. Strange. Actually, it started before I was born. Tell you the truth, when my mother, when she was pregnant with me, she carried me very low. You know, they say that, carried me low. You know? In fact, for the last few weeks, my feet were sticking out. She was the only woman in the neighborhood who wore maternity shoes. But she said it was very, very handy climbing stairs, so. And I guess, you know, it didn't hurt me physically. Well, a little bit. I got this one, I don't know if you can see, this ear is a little flatter against the head.
Yeah.
I got kind of the doctor said that happened because right at the moment of conception, my mother and father sat down. And kind of got me there. So I was kind of sensitive as a kid. In fact, I was so sensitive, my mother had to wash me in Woolite. But otherwise, I was just, you know, pretty cool.
Normal kid, huh?
Yeah, no big problems.
Now, were you a class clown, or were you any good in school?
Well, good in school. Now, you're including learning? Because my big problem was every summer I would forget everything they taught the year before. So I was in a constant state of starting over in the fall. And see, I was a daydreamer. I'd be sitting looking out the window. If they'd had a subject, what's happening outside the window, I would have been tops in the class, you know. But I was usually in trouble. That was my problem. Some kind of trouble. Yeah,
you got
into trouble. I didn't get into mischief. I got into deep, serious trouble. In fact, I went straight from shenanigans to crimes against humanity. Didn't linger at all. So it was, you know, troublesome kid in school.
Did you have any friends? Were you a loner?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, the kind of thing that I would do, and then that leads sort of right into that. I would lie a lot. You know, and I heard that if the biggest lie you told was the easiest one for people to believe, the more outrageous the lie was. So one time when I was late for school, I said, "Where were you?" I said, "Well, my parents died in their sleep, and I had to iron my own shirt." You know. And they knew it was a lie, because you could see the shirt had been well ironed, you know. And, well, see, they understand. I also got in trouble because I was too logical. Too logical. I was in school a couple of months, and they were asking me questions. One time they asked me a question, I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "How come you always ask me these questions? I came here to learn from you. You know, I don't know this stuff." Ask somebody else, ask each other, you know, leave me out of it. And it wasn't easy to learn in that school. It was a tough school because there wasn't a lot of money. They had kind of a small budget, and so they weren't teaching the entire alphabet. And so pretty much anything comes after M, I don't know much about it. You know? The Renaissance, the Reformation, Russia, I just don't know much about that. So that's what happened. Now you talk about friends, that's what that comes in, because I was a loner. I was a loner. Well, I had an imaginary friend, but I didn't bother with him, you know. I didn't like him, I didn't care for him, you know. He wasn't my kind of person, you know. So I played alone a lot. Other kids would play cops and robbers, I would play cop. Tag was a difficult game for me. And instead of hide and go seek, I would play hide. One time I remained hidden for over 3 months before I realized nobody was looking for me. It was kind of sad. My mother knew. My mother could tell this kid is in trouble.
Well, now, you know, when you're a comedian, people tend to like, beat you up and stuff. Were you, like, any good on the streets?
Well, I wasn't very tough. I wasn't tough. I wasn't good at fighting. In fact, if a guy wanted to fight me, I would say, "I'm not allowed to fight in this suit." You know, I would always have a good excuse. "Can't fight in these clothes." I'm awfully sorry. Usually they would just steal the suit. You know, which was fine with me, because you can run a lot faster without a suit on. So I played basketball. I was fairly good in basketball. In fact, when I left the team, they retired the jersey, but for sanitary reasons.
I guess you didn't make an impression on the girls, did you?
Wasn't good with girls.
No?
Wasn't much good, no. Didn't know what to do. If I played doctor with a girl, I would find an aneurysm. You know, I'd say, "Get this girl to a hospital." Yeah, I just took it too seriously, I guess.
Quite a childhood.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I knew early on I wanted to be a comedian. How about yourself? When did you realize you wanted to be a performer?
Well, I didn't really always want to be one. When I was a kid, I was a typical boy. I wanted to be a hospital administrator.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or a railway postal inspector would have been good. I liked that. And then when I was a teenager, boy, you know what I wanted to be? I wanted to be like a wholesale distributor of preformed aluminum. But sometimes your dreams don't come true. So,
George Carlin.
Being a comedian.
George Carlin. We'll be right back with more George and Stacey Q.